everyone, my name's Charlie and I'm really good at PIP. I've only ever lost one claim in 6 years. Today I want to talk to you about the government changes. Everyone needs to just take a breath. There was always going to be changes. We know that the current system isn't good enough. There's a high number of people that are abusing the system, that are making fake claims, which makes the lives for those of us that are being honest, that are truly struggling with chronic illness, makes our lives hell. So we need the system to change. I know it's scary. I don't agree with the approach. I don't think the government or the decision makers understand how, I don't know how to say it nicely, how it is fucking up our lives. I've got so many people reaching out to me, like past clients reaching out to me, absolutely panicking. People that, have been, I'm just worried that people's lives are at risk. I'm worried. So I need everyone to just take a step back or bum shuffle on the sofa if your your pain's bad. We've got to embrace this change. Okay, we've got to embrace it. We've got no choice but to go with it. Once more information is released, we'll figure it out. And I stand by what I say. I stand by what I say. If you are truly struggling with chronic illness, all you have to do is be honest. That's all you've got to do is be honest. So I'm just gonna. I think there was 5 things that you talked. You know that my channel is about. The whole point of my channel is how do we live with chronic illness in a positive manner. Yes, I've been very focused on PIP because that's what you want from me. I'm purely looking at this from the point of view of if you are entitled to this funding, how is it going to impact us? And what are we going to do? That's the approach, okay? It does worry me how many people are currently claiming PIP, which is 3.5 million. So what I'm worried about with this is I know there are so many of you out there that are struggling, truly struggling. You're entitled to it and you're not currently getting it. I know there are so many people that are getting a level of the funding, but that level doesn't match their life, your life. But we've also got the challenge of people that are getting it that are not entitled to it, that are just taking advantage of the system. So we have to understand and support that we want those people off. That's why the whole process of PIP is so degrading, because they've got to try and figure out if people are lying or not. And I think what the people that don't understand our lives, because again, most of us don't actually look sick. It's so hard because we're basically having to get a stranger to believe that we're telling the truth. It's just, the whole process is just awful, and it is going to get bad for us. I agree that it needs to change. We all agree that it needs to change. It's got to change. But I don't think there's enough understanding of how this impacts the people that are truly chronically ill. So step 1 is work assessments tightened up. I think this one's quite interesting because it's about, I don't like, I'm really shit, but if you know me, I'm not good at being politically correct. I'm just not. There are so many people that claim benefits and have no intention of going back to work. And it's not right. And I can say 100% that is not the case of anyone I work with. Everyone I work with, all of you that is watching this, that is truly chronically ill, none of us want to have to apply for this funding. We want to be able to work. We want our bodies to be back to what they were so that we can go back to work and be independent. None of us want to be a burden. I think it is important to do everything we can to help people stay in work. You know, definitely. We all want that. We all want to be able to work. Well, when I say all, I'm speaking for our community. Our community. Yeah. I was just having a think then on, do I have the right to say that? And I'm like, I speak to so many people day in, day out. I'm speaking to people, and I can say for definite, none of us want to lose our jobs. We want to work. We want to be able to earn money. We do not want to be sick. I know that, like, you're probably watching this thinking, Charlie, why are you saying that? Of course we want to go back to work. But what I've discovered is people don't understand that. People that aren't living our lives don't understand, for some reason, they don't understand that we don't want to be like this. We want to be able to work. We don't want to be sick. I don't understand. There's a big gap, big miscommunication. His next thing is that GPs can't be doing sick notes or something like that, right? Again, I totally agree with it. I think the culture, the amount of times in my career that I've been offered sick notes and I've gone, I don't want a sick note, I want to work. Help me get better. That's what I want. I'm doing everything I can, or I was, because obviously I lost my job because my health's so bad. So now, but it's all right, because I'm doing a non-traditional career, new career at 46, YouTuber, because that's normal. So I think, yeah, the sick notes scare me. Like it. I think again, it's not the GP's fault. I truly think that they've just got to the point where they'll just write them out, and it shouldn't be that way. Um, it shouldn't. But I'm like, it, what about the people that truly need it? I am just worried that we don't have the systems in place to help those of us that are really struggling. Because I know there's some of you that if the GP turned around and went, no, you're all right, I'm worried about what's going to happen. I'm worried about what's going to happen to quite a high number of people in our community. So I agree with it, but I'm scared. Not for myself. I'm scared for those of you that if you're not believed, you might feel like you've got no choice but extreme measures. So I'm a bit worried about that on how it's going to be managed. Next one is universal credit. I don't know fucking anything about it. Nothing at all. I'm not even going to comment on that. I just don't know anything about it. Great at PIP, shit at everything else. Okay, so what he's saying is that there are people misusing PIP. Completely agree. We all know that. We know that when you're dealing with humans, there's always going to be some humans that are going to abuse the system. And none of us want that. Whether we're an individual that's living with chronic illness or whether we're someone that believes that everyone that's claiming funding is a scrounger, whatever you believe, we all agree that those people that are lying should be caught and should not have access to I'm a taxpayer, pay tax all my life, our taxpayers' money when they're lying. Yes, we all agree. We all agree. There's another bit that I read about if you're able to use aids, then it doesn't mean that you're entitled to the funding because you're using the aids so that you're able to get on with your life. Now, I don't agree with that because, so for myself, when I get stuck on the toilet and I have to hold on to something to be able to lift myself up, for me, when I'm working with people, it's not, oh, okay, so you'll hold on to the radiator or the sink or the bath or the hand or the tap, whatever it is, to get yourself back up. For most people, that doesn't mean that so everything's all right. doesn't mean that everything's all right. Just because something's there and they are able to get up off the toilet, you might take a few goes, you know. It's not that it's a solution so their life is fine. Don't get me wrong, there are many people that are in a position where, yes, they have to use a handle and they need a bit of oomph to get up. And once they're up, they're all right. There's two categories. So if in your PIP you felt that you got the points because you use aids, if they remove that from the form, in my mind, again, if you are someone where if you sit in a chair to prepare food and you're able to do it while sat in a chair, brilliant. Then I think that it's probably a good change because you are able to prepare food sat in a chair that isn't aids, but you're able to prepare food. Brilliant, great. I actually have been thinking about this quite a bit, and I think that then you shouldn't get the points. That might upset a lot of you, so please stick with me. Most of the people I work with, on the occasions that if they do sit in the chair and it's not consistent, they can't consistently do it, they're still not safe. So I think, again, this isn't clear cut. So for example, if I think, hang on, let me just think of a client. Okay. Team Sleepers has a chair in the kitchen. Okay. So is he going to lose that if they remove that part of PIP? No. Because yes, he uses a chair, but he can't do it every day. He cannot, when using a chair, prepare a meal every day. Some days, yes, but the majority of the time, actually, no, he's not safe. So you need to think about it that way. Being chronically ill is complicated. It's very difficult. We all adjust, we all adapt, and we do everything we can to remain as independent as possible. You have to remember, I think they won't change this. PIP scars us. Scar the lion. Are we safe? Are we consistent and reliable? I think that's key. So if someone can safely sit in a chair and consistently and reliably prepare meals, brilliant, then they shouldn't get the points. Is that your situation? That's how they're going to look at it, I believe. So when I'm getting clients panicking, and to be honest, what is just mad is all of us that are panicking. Like, I've got clients that are bedridden 22 hours a day, worried. Oh, Charlie, what if I lose it? What if I lose it? And I'm like, I don't think you're going to lose it based on your life. And, obviously I'm quite blunt, so I have to sort of say, I don't think your life's very good. I do feel, I empathise, but I want people to move forward, keep moving forward. We have to adapt. We have to try and find ways to move forward. But based on the severity, even with those changes, even if the government took out the aids, would my clients that I've helped get the funding, would they still get the funding? Yes. Yeah. Because their lives are so severely impacted. I know for a fact that if any of my clients were able to sit and prepare meals consistently and be safe, well, they wouldn't be my clients. They wouldn't have come to me. They'd be getting on with their lives, with their conditions. They'd be over the moon. I would love to be able to prepare food. If my solution was, if there was aids, But I would get that money. I would buy those aids. I would pay a fuck ton of money on whatever it was so I could be independent. Of course I would. You've got to think about it from this point of view. If it was that easy to solve, we'd all be doing it. Those of us that are severely impacted by our conditions. Yeah. So his goal is to make the system, make the system fairer and harder to exploit. Yes, please. Yes. Fuck yes. Make it fairer. But that's the thing of whenever I'm working with people, all we want is to be treated fairly. So all we want. It's all we're asking. It's a reasonable request. And stop people from taking the piss. Yes, please. The final one is massively cracking down on fraud. Yes, we support it. Of course we support it. I am worried about this because what I don't think people get, and I did talk about it in my I'm scared after the media issue, is all of us live in fear. We all live in fear of being made out to be a liar because most of us don't look sick. It's the invisible illness situation. Even those of us that are in pain, even struggling with mobility, we just don't look sick. So about them accessing bank accounts, yeah, okay, access our bank accounts. If we're being honest, we've got nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to hide. Access my bank account, check my bank account, check my social media, check it. That's absolutely fine. Please have a look. I want them to do the checks. We should not have to fear it, even though we all do. We shouldn't have to fear it. But having access to the PIP funding, they don't want us to be prisoners in our homes. That's not the point of the funding. It's supposed to help us be independent. You know that I go out with Ollie, my trainee medical alert dog, right? I try and do that every day. My body works best on a morning, but by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm on a Zimmer frame. I'm really not good. By late afternoon, it's just going from to the toilet there is difficult. It's difficult. I don't have anything to hide. And I know for a fact, I am sure, based on the amount, based on my strategy with my clients, I am sure that they have nothing to hide. These people are really poorly. Obviously, in so many different conditions. And it's unique to every individual. But we don't have anything to hide. So access our bank accounts. Check our social media. It's not a problem. Not a problem. So please, why are you worried about it? Why are you freaking out about it? What are they going to see in your bank accounts? Oh, takeaway. Okay. Because you're too exhausted and you can't prepare food. So takeaways, right? Ubers. If you've got to go out, Ubers. Okay, great. Pet food. Okay. I don't agree with, that there are some people that are like, I've heard that some people are saying that you should lie. Never, ever lie. Never lie. All you have to do is be honest. It's all you've got to do. If you have lied, then I think you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. So if you've been given bad advice and followed it because you thought you knew what they were talking about, I'm really sorry. So I think there's going to be a big rush of them making rash decisions. I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to remove people from PIP that deserve it. It's going to happen. It is uncomfortable that we're currently being targeted. Currently, the chronically ill, let's face it, disabled community is being targeted. We're being targeted because of the amount of people that are fraudulently claiming. That's why we're being targeted. And I'm not comfortable that we're being targeted. And I think that if any other organisation or people were targeting disabled people, the government would step in to protect us. I don't know, it's difficult, isn't it? The people that have been put in charge to make these changes must show results. They've got to. They'll have budgets, won't they? So to show those results, there's definitely going to be individuals that are going to lose the funding that are entitled to it and should receive it. I think all we can do is stick together, make sure we are not listening or taking on board false information. Do not get swayed by people talking shit. We need to wait. We need to see exactly what is happening. I will talk to you about it. We will stick together as a community. And so long as we're treated fairly, we've got to support this. We have to support this. I really hope you're okay. Stay strong. We all know, I know that you're all stubborn. You're all stubborn because you're surviving chronic illness. You need to stay stubborn. Keep focusing on improving your quality of life, and we will deal with this. We're going to deal with it. They need to make the system better. They're trying. I'll speak to you soon.